what is a genuine confession? Okay. It is first to offer your bodies as living sacrifice. What do you mean by living sacrifice? God doesn't want you dead. Okay? God wants you alive and to be placed on His altar. So what do you mean by place yourself on the altar? Now, if you read from the Old Testament, anything that you place on the altar doesn't belong to you anymore. So when you place your life on the altar, you have no sovereignty over yourself anymore. So which means to say, you are handing over your sovereignty. Okay? You are handing over your sovereignty. And I must say, this is the first thing you must always turn to, both in conversion and confession. Conversion is when you first believe in Jesus. Am I right? It's the same thing, hand yourself over to Him. But you have been walking as a Christian, fall into sin, wrestle with God, get messed up, everything, and you come back to God with confession. You don't just come back to Him by just praying ritually, Lord, forgive my sin. No. What God meant by when you're making a confession to me, I want to see the handing over of your sovereignty. It means to say that. It means to say that. So in confession, you acknowledge that you are an instrument for God to do what He wants, not what you want. I said it again. Genuine confession, meaning you acknowledge you are an instrument for God to do what He wants in you, through you, not what you want. Okay? So if He had given you a certain set of attributes, conditions, say if it's not so desiring, it doesn't seem to be so outstanding as compared to others, it could be your looks, your intelligence, your marriage, your career. Now, I want you to know that, acknowledge that is the best way you could glorify God with it. And believe that what is given you will reap the best outcome for you in your lives. Don't go by feeling. Don't go by feeling. When God says, put yourself, I'm accepting you as an offering now. Put yourself on the altar. Hand over your sovereignty. No, don't be abstract, okay? Hand over your sovereignty means to say that everything in you now, you acknowledge, Lord, wherever my looks, my gifts, my talents, or what I don't have as compared to others, will be the channel to glorify you. I believe that, and I believe it will reap the best outcome for my life. That is handing over your sovereignty, okay? So confession is sovereignty first, dealing with sovereignty first. It's not making a confession for a particular mistake that you've committed in your lives and certain things. No, it's handing over your sovereignty first. Commit your sovereignty to God.